Hi, and thank you for listening. This is Sherry Andrea, and I appreciate you. If you're looking for me, you can find me at sherryspeaks.com, where you can find 80 plus attunement. I can't hear. 80 plus attunements from $2.50 and up. Also, I'm going to let you know this right up front. Just for you guys, because you guys will be the only ones that know, anyone who watches this video, I've turned my scheduler on for tomorrow from 12 to 5. So if anybody would like a reading tomorrow, feel free to go to my scheduler at, and I'm going to put the description, I'm going to put the link in the description, sherryspeaksnow.simplybook.me. By the way, I'm in the process of switching my scheduler over to my own at sherryandrea.com. So that's the reason why when you go to my scheduler, you'll have to schedule it and then either go to PayPal to pay, and you can do that through sherryspeaks.com, and just click on the donate on the navigation menu, and you'll see all the different ways to pay. So that's the only reason why my scheduler isn't fully on, is because I kind of felt like why go ahead and pay for it again when I'm gonna be switching over. So yeah, so that's the reason why. Okay, so anyway, this video is, often I recommend books, I recommend videos for you to watch. Like I might recommend that you watch Muji, or I might recommend that there is a psychic or a healer that specializes and is really good at certain things. And I do that often. But there are some people out there that are they're listening to the same things we're listening to. The same people that we listen to learn from, and to get our knowledge and understanding, they're listening to the same people too, but not for the same reasons we are. They're listening to them to use what they hear, use little bit they learn, pick up talking points, keywords, to then use them to turn around and scam somebody, to con someone. And recently, I have come across, a couple of people who are like that. One in particular, I just thought put on such a good show. Now, some of you are going to know who I'm talking about when I say the name. Some of you are going to go, oh yeah, I remember him. Talk about a person like reinventing themselves, all under the guise of the money, because they saw an opportunity, especially in our community as in metaphysics and spiritual people and everything. They saw an opportunity. They're like, oh, I can do that. I can come across like that. I can fake that. Well, me and, Kier, KJ the Mystic, that, we've done many shows, together. When I came across the video and I was watching it, I sent it to him. And I was like, get a load of this. I was like, you remember so-and-so? Look at what he's doing now. And so we talked about it at length, what we thought about it and everything, having seen this person over the years do what they do. And the reality is, there are many people out there that when their money starts drying up, or maybe they don't have the following they used to, or the money just isn't coming in like it used to come in, they kind of, in a way, get a new gig, or they reinvent themselves, but it's all under the guise of making money. So, oh, you know what? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even, I didn't even set this up right. Hold on one second. I'm going to see if I can do it right now. Window capture. Okay. I'm going to see if I can do this right now. I just realized I didn't even set this up to get ready to show you, but hold on just give me 1 second, because sometimes this is kind of confusing to me how to properly do this. Okay, hold on, because I want to make sure that you're going to be able to see this. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, now first of all, before I do that, let's do this. As you know from the last, like, maybe a few videos I've done, okay, let's talk about the Fair Use Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit educational and personal use tips a balance in the favor of fair use. Okay, we did that. We got that out of the way. So okay, here's the thing. Now let me make sure that this is set up okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try to do this. Or maybe I can't do it like that. Hold on 1 second. Now, hopefully, hopefully you're going to be able to hear this. Okay, so for those of you, some of you know this person who used to go by the name Nature Boy, and now he's got a new con out. And this is what I'm talking about. There are a lot of people out there right now. You may not have run across them, but there are a lot of people out there that are like taking material. There, you can, as you listen to them talk, you can kind of perceive, you know, what they've been listening to. Like, they've been listening to channelings, they've been watching certain videos, and even like in this particular video, I counted a connection to 4 or 5 different movies. So they're even mixing that in there. I'm like, oh, that's the Matrix. I'm like, and so now we're not gonna watch the whole video, because I wouldn't torture you like that. I mean, because you can always you can always go, I'll put the link in the description, you can always go watch the whole thing for yourself if you want to get the full effect. Yeah, it's amazing people do these things, but like I said, it's for the money. But okay, now let me see if I can do this technology wise when it comes to videos. Hold on. Okay, let me start playing it first of all. Or actually, hold on, let me share the screen first. Okay, now let me see if I can. There we go.
Powerful intro. Powerful intro you coming in with, man. This was a surprise to me. I see you have turned up a little bit, and let me first ask you, brother, before we get into it, I want to ask you, are the women behind you, are they your wives or just members of your organization, your movement? Did you hear me, brother? We can't have it.
Let's say, just say this. These are my orishas.
Orishas.
Yes.
Okay. I would like for you to introduce yourself to the audience for those of them who may not have heard of you or who don't know you, because we get new people here every day, brother. So introduce yourself to the people.
They want me to introduce myself again, my caller. You ready? Up! All due respect. What?
All due respect to the Most High, three God, one God.
Got my pleas in check. I go by the name Three God. Some of you know me prior as Nature Boy.
Okay. Okay, brother. Let's start this interview, man. Let's start this interview. First of all, I would like to ask you, where did you get the name, the title Three God? Where did that come from? And why are you calling yourself God now? Where did that come from?
Three.
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 I am Three God. I am from a distant constellation. I have hijacked the body of this being, and I am at 60% download before I am your God. All of the African American people are my people. I am your God. I am the Three God. I come in three.
This got to be some type of cult that you're doing here, brother. And a lot of people are saying things like you are putting a heavy spell on the people, like the women and the brothers. What is your response to that?
My name is Ka. I am a Ka. America. America. I am a Ka.
Okay, I just wanted to pause it for a second. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Okay, so you get, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, when I first watched this, I was like, that's why I shared it with Kier, and I was just like, oh my gosh, okay. Like, he knew of Nature Boy, and he remembered. Okay, so the thing is, if you had watched him years ago, at one point he was in, I think to start with, Colombia or something, and got ran out of there. Then he was in Mexico, got ran out of there, mainly because some of these young women, their parents were calling the consulate or whatever in Mexico and saying that, you know, their child, they couldn't reach their child didn't have the freedom to leave. And so the consulate got involved, showed up at their, I guess you would call it a compound, questioned them all, made sure that they were all there, you know, willingly. And then the next place they went was Hawaii. But that was in 2020, I believe, during the pandemic. And remember, Hawaii, you know, had strict COVID rules, so that when you flew into Hawaii, you were required to not be able to go anywhere for 2 weeks. Theirs was 2 weeks. And Hawaii arrested many people for not taking that seriously, and they were really tracking people. So if people left their hotel room even to go to the grocery store, they were arresting them. Like, you were supposed to be quarantined. You weren't supposed to be going out anywhere for 2 weeks, and they were quite serious about it. Okay, and so when Nature Boy and his group of people went to Hawaii, they didn't take it seriously either. They didn't take quarantining seriously either. And so Hawaii arrested all of them. Literally all of them. Now, I don't know how many there were, but my guess was probably no less than 15 to 20 of them. And then Hawaii eventually gave them that option of, don't want to sit in jail? We'll send you on your way, and we'll send you to California. We'll fly you out of here. And so that's the option that they chose, was, of course, who wouldn't, to get out of jail. And then you didn't hear anything from him for a while. Now, I didn't even remember that I was following him on Facebook until he popped up one day, maybe about a year later, so sometime in 2021. But like on Facebook, he was doing videos where he was all into sex and sexuality. Often he would post these videos where he was naked in a bubble bath and all these women were standing around him, and he was like, who wants to have sex with me? And so I just thought, okay, yeah, that's a direction he's going. But evidently, maybe nobody was really interested in that. Nobody was really watching. Now, I've listened to some other people's commentary about it that know him, that have said what the issue was is that his money dried up. The money just wasn't coming in, and he had to get a new gig. And that this is a new gig he chose. This is just like any other con artist that moves on to another mark. But in this case, it's just his new gig. It's just his new thing. How do we make money now? And now they've chosen the metaphysical and spiritual community to piggyback onto to make their money. Okay, so, you'll notice you probably giggled a little bit when he made reference to being God and saying that I've hijacked this body. Okay, he's pretending to channel. Now, if you were to watch all of this video, which you wouldn't, because there's I think an hour and a half to 2 hours of it, and then there's a part 2. There's another video that's 2 hours long of him acting even crazier. I mean, you haven't seen anything yet. And then there's even a third video where, now, this is the reason why I wanted to pause it. I'm sure you've already seen enough. You already see where this is going. The reason why I paused it, and let me put this back up on the screen at least. Okay, so the man to, I believe on your screen, your upper, well, it's my upper left, is Sonetter. This is his channel. The woman on the bottom part of the screen is Napa, and that is one of Sonetter's wives. Sonetter has 2 wives. That's one of his wives. Throughout this video, one of the great things that I loved is that, Napa is very knowledgeable when it comes to spirituality and religion. So she's not the one to be fooled. And she was asking a lot of serious questions. However, it was interesting to see that every time she did, Nature Boy, now known as 3 God, did not like it at all. Me and Kier were talking he seems to have an issue with women, which leading to his desire to control women. Now, make no mistake about it, these people that you see in that video with him they're not under his spell or anything like that. I assure you, there is no, they need to be saved. Now, yes, some of the women have issues because many of them who have left him has stated that, you know, they had issues with self-esteem and everything else. But no, they are very much there, of their free will, because there is money involved. A lot of money. And even during one of the videos, he does talk about, you know, how much money was coming in. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, when they were at their most popular, at which they were for a while. And some of the people who had been following them and then left him actually stated that, you know, there was an agreement that they got paid a certain amount of money to, you know, stick to this whole theatrical project and to play this role. At some points in the video, Sonetta plays a video of him in the past where there are women rubbing his feet and him like basically bragging about it and like, look at this, you know, they're just attracted to me. I can't stop it. Everybody's attracted to me. They just want to do this for me. In this very video, at one point, he orders one of the men to massage his feet, and he does it. He actually does it. And so, but you got to understand, this is theater for them. This is theater. This is conning people. This is putting one over on people, all to make money. Now, you've seen, as you've watched this video, and you've seen the look on Sonetta's face and the look on his wife's face, they're very tolerant. You know, I've seen many of the videos where they've interviewed people who are very much going off to the left. And these are the most tolerant. The two of them, I haven't seen anybody in a long time that are as tolerant as they are. But you can see the expression on his wife's face. She's not entertained by this at all. And even the way she questions Kim, throws certain questions at him, you can tell she is not entertained. She is not amused at all. And like I said, I'm not going to play the whole thing because I'm not going to torture you like that. But this is me just saying, you just got to be careful. You know, if something sounds like it may be too good to be true, if something sounds like it may be a little off in left field, then in fact, it probably is. You know, channeling is a skill. I feel that, you know, what he's doing by pretending to channel and pretending to have that skill, he's like literally making a mockery of everything people who are metaphysical and or spiritual believe in. It's a travesty. It's really a shame that, you know, that they would do something like this, but not surprising. I'm not surprised at all, because social media is just this. It's whoever can entertain people in the craziest ways. Who can shock people, who can just like be to the left. At one point in this video, Sonetta does say, are you all right, brother? Like as if to say, are you on medication? Are you okay? And I was glad that he said that, to basically let people know, no, I'm not just sitting here and going along with it. At one point, his wife did try to convince him, don't end the live, because at one point it seemed like he wanted to. He wanted to just, you know, end the live and put an end to this, right? But the thing is, and what he said was, Sonetta actually said, You know, when I do a live and I'm talking spirituality, religion, and I'm trying to bring true knowledge, I hardly have any listeners. I bring you some crazy mess like this, and we've got 2,000 people live. And it is true. It is true. It's hard to get people to show up and listen to something that is real, something that could possibly advance them, something that could improve them. It's hard nowadays to get people to show up to something that is real and authentic, because this is what a lot of people would rather watch. This is what people would rather see, because this, I guess, is entertaining to them. Oh, absolutely. You would, you know, if you watch the whole thing, you will be entertained. You will be entertained at points. You will laugh your butt off. Me, I was counting the movie references. I got up to like 4 or 5, and I think if I had continued watching, he probably would have made reference to Star Trek and the Goonies. If I would have kept watching, at one point I clearly understood a reference where he'd gotten the idea for the information from the Matrix. You know, he started talking about zeros and ones, and ones are now zeros and zeros are now ones, and I was like, okay, that's the Matrix. I mean, I counted all these movie references where he was just randomly, he was pulling stuff from everywhere. Movies. Evidently watching people, real channelers channel, throwing out keywords that he picked up. 3 main keywords that I referenced him speak of: awakening, enlightenment, and there was one other one. I don't remember what the other one was, but these keywords he picked up that he was just kind of randomly throwing out there. I guess he maybe felt like, I don't know, like this would convince somebody that he was authentic, that he was real. But it's it's really a shame. It's really a slap in the face to the people who are bringing, real information, real knowledge, who are really have good intentions and are trying to do good. What do you think about it? I mean, and what have you seen lately? I'm sure, because he's not the only one. There's tons of people out here that are doing these things. What have you seen lately? And what do you think about this? When you see things like this, does it make you mad? Or, and I can imagine some of you are going to comment, you're going to be like, I really don't care. But sometimes we do have to care, because even though we're not going to fall for this, there are some people out there who are going to, who are ripe for this, because of what they're going through in their life. So there are some innocent people out there that are going to fall for this. And guess what? If women contact him and say, hey, I want to come out and join you, he will say yes. Now, there is another video, a 4th video of Sonetta interviewing somebody who has known him for a long time, since the days before he became Nature Boy, where he was using his real name, Eligio. And I want to say she knew him when he was in Atlanta, but I want to say he's originally from like either New York or New Jersey or something. But he's got, of course, no surprise, criminal past. At one point, he was a prostitute. He was an escort, a stripper, right before he reinvented himself as Nature Boy. And that really took off. And I mean, with the money he had coming in, of course, that took off, and he never looked back. So now he's transformed himself from Nature Boy to 3 God. And which he is saying is God having stepped into the body of Nature Boy. Yeah, right, okay. But anyway, I'd love to hear your comments. What do you think about this? And especially about the aspect of it where there are people out there that are going to fall for this. I mean, I know it's kind of like you may think, who's going to fall for this? So obvious. It depends where you're at in your life. Some people are at a bad place and they're just ripe to fall for something like this. Okay. You remember Jim Jones? Okay, there were a lot of smart and decent people who fell for what he was putting out. And as you know, he was batshit crazy. And towards the end there, he was popping pills and everything and paranoid. And so now remember Jim Jones. Okay, so you know, me and Kier are probably going to do a video where we discuss this as from an astrology point of view, what he's got going on in his astrological chart that explains what he's doing, and also from a psychological standpoint of what happened to Kim when he was young that caused him to have such a problem with women that now his main thing is controlling women. Now, Nepal, even though I'm not going to show it to you, every time she asked him a question, he tried his hardest to ignore her. Or he would start playing music out loud. Or he'd turn away from the camera and have the women start feeding him grapes and stuff. Where it was very obvious he has an issue with women. He even in this video at one point called Sonetter on it and said, hey, you let your woman run the show. You let your woman control you. So me and Kier will probably be doing a video where we even talk about that. What it is in his past from his childhood that set the stage for this. And his triggers with women. And why he must control women. So anyway, maybe hopefully Kier's actually working. He's actually working a 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift tonight. You got to feel for him. I feel bad for him because he's really trying hard to, he's working on his website and everything so that maybe he can do readings and astrology chart readings full time, but it hasn't been easy and he's still having to work his full-time job, and believe me, he's not happy. And I feel for him, but maybe in the next couple of days here when he's free, we'll go ahead and we'll do that, because I'd love to give you the opportunity for you guys to hear how me and Kier discuss things, how we pick things apart. The things that we see and the things that we read off of things like this. And especially with us being from kind of two different areas, him coming from that astrology point of view, me using my abilities with my higher self, to like basically both of us peeking behind the scenes at what's going on and how we're both coming up with kind of the same thing, but we're getting lots of pieces of it. It's very, I can't really explain it unless you get to listen to one of our conversations where we pick something apart. So I'm going to try to bring that to you. But anyway, like I said, I opened up the readings tomorrow, Sunday, which is April 10th. So feel free to go there. Oh, and the psychic readings are still on sale. The 30 minutes is still on sale for $15. It won't be much longer though. So even if you don't want it right now, you can go ahead and either pay for it, and email me and let me know that you would like me to just hold it in the system for when you're ready for a reading. So even if you don't want one right now, but you want to buy it at the sale price, you can do that. If you'd like to, I do have some people that will buy them in blocks of anywhere from 3 to 10, just so that they can get the sales price and have them, within the next couple of months for when they want a reading. So it is okay if you do that. All you would do is, go to sherryspeaks.com, or you can email me and ask me, hey, if I want to buy a couple or 3 or 4, how much do I send and where do I send it to if I want to pay such a way. So feel free to do that. As always, I appreciate you. Remember to subscribe, like, and or share the video. And if you want to make a donation, you can go to sherryspeaks.com and you'll see the donate on the navigation menu. Thank you, and thank you for listening, and I look forward to talking to you again soon in the future. There we go. I won't make you keep looking at that. So I look forward to talking to you again in the future. I hope for those of you that live in the colder states, that your weather is starting to get a little bit better and warming up. I'm in Orlando, Florida. It's already hot here, but we've had a couple of nice days. Like right now, it's cool out. So I hope your weather is okay. Anyway, look forward to talking to you again soon. Namaste.